Okay. Welcome back. Let us continue. We are still investigating. Going into overtime here too. But we gotta do it for Maya. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. Aw. Let's stay optimistic, okay? So the real person who killed Mr. Kurita was that assassin, Mr. Shelley D. Killer, right? And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired D. Killer to begin with? Who is his client? You mean who asked for the murder? Edgeworth said it was On Guard. Or at least that's what he seems to think. The person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, there's still a killer. Who? Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews? That doesn't make any sense, though, because she went out of her way to frame On Guard. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? Right, exactly. That makes no sense. But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be. Matt On Guard himself? If Mr. On Guard really did hire the assassin, then he's not innocent at all. Far from it, he'd be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. On Guard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him... Yeah, Mr. On Guard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Wong Kurita? Yeah, phrasing. He didn't kill him, but... Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Wong Kurita, okay? I didn't see any psych locks at that time. Actually, that reminds me. Did you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So it is this interesting thing. Oh, that's right, you didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Yeah, she was channeling Mia at the time. Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. So On Guard definitely has a motive. Mr. On Guard's secret? What is this secret? I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Kurita was going to reveal this secret. That means Mr. On Guard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Kurita silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. On Guard. There's no way around it now. Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. But we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of this secret Mr. Kurita held about Mr. On Guard. And Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center? I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Not you again. Oh, boy. Are we... Oh, okay, thank you. Bye. Bye, old bag. Hey, wait! No, don't call her back, Phoenix! Oh, God. What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing has anything to do with you is ever good. Just like now, I was handed a strange device for who knows what reason. I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. Oh, the bug sweeper. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care, but the request came from Edgy Poo, so... Edgeworth? And he said... If you feel angry, direct your anger at the unsophisticated lawyer. Thanks, Edgy! Thanks for throwing me under the bus! So I'm gonna feel free to direct all my anger toward you! Gee. Thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. You're a true friend. This is absolutely top secret, so you better keep it to yourselves. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know, that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Kurita. I'll let you in on another secret, youngin'. I know who planted that spy camera. It was that obnoxious, puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too. Wow, the alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I'll bet it's nothing good. Yeah, I think you... Yeah, you totally just wanted to see, Yeah, I know what you wanted to see. So you want to know about Juan and, that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two. Oh? I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? Who are you talking about? You don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impax. Ms. Andrews' mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That's Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know. Married? You mean to Mr. Kurita? Really? You young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement. Oh. Why? 3 days after their marriage announcement? What the? Why would Miss Impax want to kill herself? She was going to get married. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was in the weekly magazines. But why? Why did he do that? That wasn't in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. At night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager, Celeste, killed herself. How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. I don't know, but that is pretty much at the heart of this case, I think. Let me see, is there anything I need to show? I don't think there's anything I need to show Old Bag. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. Guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened. You're Mr. Onguard's lawyer, right? Yes, sir. Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness. What? A decisive witness? You mean for the Onguard case? We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick? Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here. Oh yeah, Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission. So, there you go. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Thanks, Edgeworth. What? I've already called them so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content. Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content. Sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. Yeah, what's up with this decisive witness? Okay. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Onguard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Definitely both, but who should I listen to first? Onguard definitely has some splaining to do. Dude, it's Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. Count on you. I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Corrida was killed by an assassin and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Onguard. What's wrong? Mr. Onguard, there is something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Ms. Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is, please? Huh? Oh my god! I knew this was coming. Shit. That's a lot of Cyclops. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. Cyclops? You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Did you know about Mr. Corrida and Ms. Andrews' relationship? What's all over the tabloids, dude? Oh, but I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Ms. Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corrida. Her mentor was Mr. Corrida's manager, and Ms. Andrews was going to get Ms. Celeste Impact's suicide note from him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for pizza? My treat. What? Well, kind of, but that's not the point here. Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it like a pea, like green peas? You don't know what a pizza is, Pearl. We should definitely go for some after this. Let's go eat one later, okay? Oh, I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. How about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Mr. On Guard, are you connected to Ms. Impact's suicide in some way? Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me. Huh? Uh-oh. Who's this? Oh, it's Wolverine. Mr. Powers, Mr. Powers. What happened? Why are you here? You see, I got roped into this somehow. Are you the decisive witness? What? Now I'm gonna testify at tomorrow's trial. Yep, he is. So, the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? I was talking with a detective until a little while ago when I was on my way home. When all of a sudden, you there, you're under arrest, and I was brought back here. Uh-oh. They said my face and whole self in general looks suspicious or something. Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? So, about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about? I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. From what they tell you? You saw something important. What was it? Oh, well, the detective told me not to talk about it. Of course they did. You can't tell anyone, and especially not the lawyer, he said. Of course. Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about? Who do you think? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's me. Yeah, you got it. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright. Ouch. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? Well, hey. Hey, as I always say, quality over quantity. This is gonna do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going. But what's he really like? Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He'd never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say it's just a game to justify himself. Oh. What? How horrible! That's unforgivable! Oh, sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me. One person who wouldn't swoon over him. His manager, you know, Ms. Adrian Anders. Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic? See, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right? Dazzling sort of image, but aren't you part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers? Yeah, the former Steel Samurai. No, more of a hairy, smelly, sweaty, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around. Well, that's true. Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Ms. Anders' mentor and her suicide? You mean Ms. Impact's? He heard something about how her wedding was cancelled. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead. Mr. Powers is so charged up his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. Yeah, that was part of the discussion before. And they say Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Kurita? Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, it looks like I caught up with a truly insidious man. A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Kurita? Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Ongard and Ms. Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Okay. Okay, whose story do I want to hear? Let's talk to Adrian now. Hey, Samus. How's it going? Oh, it's you. Sorry to be visiting at such a late hour. But there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Kurita had on Mr. Ongard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Ongard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment toward Mr. Ongard. If that's the case, then why'd you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. Not buying it. About Miss Celeste Impacts. I had finally put her death behind me. And now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who hid her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and burn it. You wanted to burn it? But why? I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent toward Juan. I would never do something so stupid. The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Mr. Ongard? That's simple. Because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way. The police are excellent at doing their jobs, so they'd figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. Miss Andrews? Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason. So please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? Okay, just one in this case. Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say, revenge. don't know if we need... Oh. Hello? Mr. Nick, your phone! I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. Sounds kind of ominous. It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important. Hello? We got a big problem, pal! Oh, what's wrong? I'm on my way to your office right now! Okay. Wait a sec. Why is he coming here? It's terrible. I don't know what to say, pal. It's the end, I say. I'm gonna... Oh. I got here faster than I thought. Hey. No time to relax now, pal. I'm confused as anything here. Well, what happened? We got him! We know who bought that spy camera! We do? Huh? This quickly? And this bear's what gave him away, pal! Oh, yeah, like what Edgeworth said. It's a rare collector's item. I figured it out, pal! I figured we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. You figured it out, okay. But wasn't it Mr. Edge... Shh. And, go on. There's only one person who bought one of these bears who's related to this crime. Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? Matt on guard. Matt on guard. Your client, that's who, pal. And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? The camera who bought this bear was... I heard from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. Damn, that's one expensive teddy. A receipt. That's all you have? Nah, it's not just the receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me, I'm sure I sold the bear to Mr. Ongard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ongard's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ongard himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. So what about the spy camera we found? Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you to file away into evidence. Got the spy camera, the transmitter, and the stuffed bear. Okay. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I never thought... I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Corrida's room was Matt Ongard. Why? Why would Mr. Ongard do something like this? I'll bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Corrida in one of their rendezvous. I bet isn't good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. Are you gonna see him? Mr. Ongard, I mean. Yes. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Matt Ongard, what in the world have you done? Okay then, I think... Let me see, I think... We've done this... Okay. Time to head... We're gonna have ourselves another chat with, Mr. Ongard. Working really late, dude. It's already past 10 p.m. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax, don't you know ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Okay. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Kurita had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on, I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Kurita's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with his transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about? The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Guess one had a few of those kind of fans too. Huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was... you. Mr. Enguarde, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Enguarde. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, you have any proof you want to show me first? Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Enguarde. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, you can tell from this... all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? It's $3,800. It could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? It's ivory. It's got elephant hair for bristles. Ew. Elephant hair. Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyways, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him your autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yeah? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find out what I want to know. Because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... I'm pretty sure you were trying to catch, catch Adrian and them in their meeting. Adrian Andrews? There's a rumor going around that Ms. Andrews and Mr. Kurita were having secret meetings. You, who is keeping tabs on Mr. Kurita, you are going to reveal this as fact and turn it into a scandal, isn't that right? Dude, you can be such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer Dude, that kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy. The good stuff? Juicy? Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny on that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Kurita because of Miss Andrews. Then there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Kurita's room was... Oh shit! No! No, no, I bumped the... I bumped the right mouse button by mistake. And it backed me out of the whole damn thing. You're gonna make me do it all over again, aren't you? Yeah. It is too easy with this. Again, to just bump the, mouse button. Okay, the real reason you set up the camera... You wanted to see it go down. What's this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. That man's name is Shelly D. Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly D. Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? And how do you know he's a shady scumbag? Well, I guess the name's kind of a giveaway, but... This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. If I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Matt Ongard, I know why you know Mr. D. Killer. It's because you're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelley D. Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Carita. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt Engard. And here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. Thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought, anyway. Mr. Engard, you really did hire... Hold on a sec, I'm gonna consult myself, okay? What? How does that work? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Whoa. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Engard. Well, this is a turn. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really? So you are Shelley D. Killer's client. You didn't really think I'd dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Trying to stick the crime on me, I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying! What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And is that why he recorded it? That's why he recorded the murder? To blackmail him? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video's my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? Why? Why would you kill Mr. Carita? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? Yeah. That's what he was... He had something he was going to expose you on. If Mr. Carita had been able to give it, then Mr. Engard's secret would have... Oh, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Carita ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used. Used and thrown away. Put on a sweet innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin too. Oh, and how could I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Fuck you. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Matt on guard. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? Growing awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Carita. And you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. I mean, again, technically he wasn't lying, but... Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that D-Killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room. You killed Mr. Carita. I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Aw, but too bad, you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How's that sound? Aw, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Yeah, because who knows what's going to happen to Maya. Mystic Maya. Yeah. You wouldn't want to test D-Killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel. Really, that's the worst word you can come up with, Phoenix? Well, I guess this is... What is it, a T-rated game? I could think of a few more colorful expletives, but... So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I'd give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. Juan said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya. Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now? Now you finally found it. Huh? Edgy! The starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the horrid atmosphere. Let's return to the precinct. Well, right. What are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No! We can't do that! That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right, only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, right? It's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who's clearly a killer. Matt Ongard. That man is really... Ugh! It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense. But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you fought for your clients up until now? Oh. Hitting below the belt, aren't we? Well, that may be true, but that's... That's because I believed in my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. It does feel like a no-win scenario. Right, would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone. That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You're a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Francisca von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth isn't with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Francisca, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty! I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. Is this what's got Phoenix? Why Phoenix was getting so pissed off about Edgeworth earlier. However, you're mistaken. Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that's why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you'll see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. Huh? Mr. Nick, the transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? Yeah. My, what's the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please. Why are you holding my hostage for Mr. Ongard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client. Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I believe you are asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. The heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called client relations, and is a part of an assassin's duty. I think I see where he's getting at. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. Yeah, probably largely thanks to Adrian, absent-mindedly taking his calling card. As a result, I did what I had to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney. And to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however. You did, but... My name is D. Killer. Shelley D. Killer. You're Shelley D. Killer? Please keep in mind, you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a D-killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya, it would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap. No! Now then, if you'll excuse me. If someone were to trace the signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Kitty! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth. Did you hear that? At the end of that transmission. Yeah, the kitty. Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? Yeah. Yeah, they put it together. That cat! Can it... What is it? I think I know where Shelly D. Killer's holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for Enguarde's mansion immediately. Alright, you hurry over as well then. You know, now that I think about it, wouldn't... You would think the police would have already... Wouldn't the police have already searched Enguarde's house? I guess Phoenix can, Scarlet. Maya! Please answer us! Mystic Maya! We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area. I do, Scarlet. I have 2 of them. And yes, I actually... They do both have very distinct meows that I can tell them apart. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time he was D-Killer. Of course the butler did it. He and Enguarde were working together all this time. I'm sure they'd worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. That bear. That... Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. A wooden bear-shaped figurine, covered in many thin cuts. A bear? Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Kurita? Why would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed here. Yeah, Maya must have stuck it out there. I'm sure that's for Shu. Do you think that this came through that little door? This door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. There's no one here. From the looks of this room, I'd say this is Enguarde's private lounge. Look at this, right? An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals, and a VCR. This must be where the, Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. Aw, Coolio! Hi! You came in at quite a climax here. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No. But there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. I see. What about the... This is the cellar where Maya was being... We searched all over, but it looks like he got away. Oh, cool. I hope that went well. It looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be your pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. Wait, this... It's that picture of Celeste. This looks like a picture of Ms. Impax. With love, Celeste. Ms. Impax, you mean... Yes, Mr. Kurita's former manager. Why would a picture of Ms. Impax be here in Mr. Ongard's mansion? And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. Yeah. Did she know Ongard as well? Oh, cool. A bit of a different retelling of Wizard of Oz, huh? I think most people are familiar with the movie. I've also read the original book. What's wrong, Pearls? Please let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's so special about the frame? On the back! There's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's Mystic Maya. She left us a message. What? Aw. I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You'd better get Ongard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Curly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's gotta watch out for the helpless lunk. Thanks. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Aw. No! Mystic Maya! Right? What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. We searched the house, and this is the last room. It looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm gonna get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what is that? Right. She still has a psych lock we haven't broken yet. Ms. Anders' psych lock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Yep, she's still okay for now. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock. Alright. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You two look ill. Ms. Anders, I've come to remove your psych lock. Psych lock? I want to know and you'll tell me. You're right about that, Coolio. Fine, go ahead. Try and break me if you can. Oh, that sounded suggestive, but okay. Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Ongard for the murder? I've already told you countless times, it's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Ongard. Ms. Anders, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why. What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Anders, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people? There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. Are you trying to help or hurt Matt with what you're doing? Huh? What do you mean? This random haphazard throwing out of evidence you're so fond of doing? Wait, was that wrong? Are you Okay, maybe I have to show her the profile instead of the... Celeste. There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. And that's Ms. Impact's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hit her suicide note was also Juan. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ongard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Ms. Impact's and her suicide. Okay, this is where I show her the picture from his house. This is a photo of Ms. Impact's, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Ms. Impact's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, it's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Ongard's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Alright. Celeste. She was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out. Because Mr. Krita didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes. Because of Matt. Because of Mr. Ongard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Celeste. She was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time. I was working part-time back then, and often saw the two of them together. So that's why, with love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. They were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used, toyed with, until she was thrown away. Yeah, Powers said that Matt's that kind of person. That's so horrible! Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that's where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then, it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. Oh, no, I haven't yet, Coolio, but I'll have to do that after this. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see, so that's what happened. But then why did Mr. Creed have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. Oh, that she was his sloppy seconds. And then Juan didn't want anything to do with her after that. Damn. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Poor Miss Impacts. That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds. So that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt. And it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge. There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note, which was going to be hence the press conference. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard about it from Juan. It was so I could find out about all of this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night, when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was gonna burn it. I even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring to them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. That's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all of this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and talking with me. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either. Not with my situation or with what I know now. Oh, shit. Okay, I think next is going to be the final trial for Ace Attorney 2. I think I'm going to hold off on that for right now. I don't know how late I'm going to go if I were to attempt that now. Instead, I think I'm going to go back and do some, I'll do some Mega Maker for the last hour and a half or so. So I'll see you guys in just a few with that.